with Mary Alice Demler.
And we begin Buffalo Nightly with a live look at a busy stretch of the 33 and our Storm Team 2 future look. It's dry for now, but more rain is on the way, and it could slow down your drive tomorrow morning and again in the evening. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for Buffalo Nightly News on WGRZ+. Now, if you have any outdoor plans, make sure you have a backup tomorrow. Storm Team 2 meteorologist Dan Russell is following this weather system closely for us from our roof in downtown Buffalo. But it's pretty clear right now, Dan.
Yes, it is, Mary Alice, at least for now, but not too far away. We're already tracking the leading edge of some of that rain. But yeah, right now, we have skies that are at least partially clear, and temperatures really aren't too bad. We're still sitting with temperatures in the upper 50s, and you can see on our latest satellite and radar, not a whole lot happening, but as we look just off to our west, we have this line of showers that continues to race across Lake Erie, even a little bit of thunder and lightning in some of this activity. This is the line that will arrive around and after midnight, and once it does, as temperatures cool off in its wake, that's when that lake effect machine really gets going, especially as we get closer to, say, 4, 5, 6 a.m. And you can see it as we take a look at that hourly forecast. And because of some of this rain being on the heavier side, we do have a weather impact alert issued for your Wednesday. Again, lake rain, heavy at times, especially from Buffalo Point south. Make sure any drains in your area are clean from any leaves. Watch out for ponding on the roadway. So yeah, a lot of extra time needed, not only for the morning commute, but also the evening commute. And of course, I'll track that rain for you with Future Look and the extended forecast in just a little bit. Mary Alice?
All righty. Thank you, Dan. We'll see you inside in a bit. And a reminder, everybody, to stick with Storm Team 2 as we continue to track the wet weather. You can download the 2 on Your Side app or get the latest weather impact alerts, live radar, and the 7-day forecast. It's free to download right now on the App Store and Google Play.
I lost a great son, wonderful husband, perfect father, and the best brother. Such a good friend that I break completely inside.
So heartbreaking. Happening right now, a community is coming together to remember a man killed in a crash on Buffalo's east side. Family and friends are holding a vigil tonight for 31-year-old Carlos Rodriguez, who was hit and killed early Sunday morning near Broadway and Wick Street. And 2 on Your Side's Chelsea Swift is there tonight with how loved ones are honoring his memory. Chelsea?
Mary Alice, Carlos's friends and family have gathered here on Broadway Avenue, and his family organized this vigil and drove here all the way from Florida to be here. Just a few minutes ago, Carlos's father began speaking about the loss of his son, and others are now sharing memories. 31-year-old Carlos Rodriguez was hit by a car early Sunday morning on Broadway near Wick Street. Now Carlos's friends and family have gathered just 1 block away with candles, balloons, and t-shirts to honor Carlos. The driver involved has been identified as 23-year-old Danielle Davis. According to Buffalo police, Davis was allegedly drunk driving when the accident took place. The Erie County DA's office says Danielle Davis was arraigned for vehicular manslaughter and other charges on Monday. Carlos's father says his son's death is a huge loss for his friends and family. And as you can see, dozens of people are here now on Broadway Avenue, and tonight at 11 you'll hear from them and about the kind of impact that he had on their lives, as well as his legacy as they've come together to celebrate his life. Live and on your side in Buffalo, Chelsea Swift, Channel 2 News.
Chelsea, thank you. Well, right now we have a live look at downtown Buffalo, where the battle over city bonds continues tonight. The city comptroller has announced that she's appealing recent court rulings involving Buffalo's 2025 capital bond sale. 2 on Your Side's Nate Benson breaks down what this latest move means for city finances. Nate?
Yeah, good evening, Mary Alice. The adults seem to be fighting inside City Hall as the battle over bonds in the city of Buffalo will not be wrapping up anytime soon, as the city controller announced she's appealing that court order that mandated she go to the bond market for those capital budget funds. Now, last month, Judge Emilio Koliakovo ruled that the controller did not have the authority to essentially veto the capital budget by not going to the bond market. The Common Council passed a $110 million capital budget last December after after the controller set a bond cap of $28 million. Judge Kolyakovo ruled that the bond cap is merely a recommendation and not something set in stone by the city charter. Well, the controller continues to disagree with that and announced today she's appealing that order. She says her office will file the appeal tomorrow, and her legal counsel intends to do that. Now, the announcement garnered strong reaction from Fillmore District Council member Mitch Nowakowski and the acting mayor earlier this afternoon.
Continued borrowing is merely a band-aid solution to avoid making the tough decisions that are immediately needed.
I think that the voters now know that it's one person not coming into work and actually functioning with the rest of her colleagues, and the only word of functioning is to sue us in court and to have this litigated and not come to a table with the facts that are before us that we could work out. It's really a sad day in the city of Buffalo.
I am sitting here dealing with a controller who's making arguments that aren't rooted in much sense, quite frankly, being advised by someone who's the architect of the city's financial problems right now. And like I said, it's very frustrating.
When you say architect, you're talking about her deputy, correct?
Correct.
Now, according to the Comptroller's office, outside legal counsel for the initial lawsuit just cost over $8,000 for her office. I'm told counsel for the mayor's office cost around $9,000. Now, remember, corporation counsel for the city cannot represent both the acting mayor and the Comptroller's office at the same time when they sue each other in court. So that's why outside counsel was needed in this case. Now, one thing that acting mayor Chris Scanlon mentioned is there's a greater cost to all this. Projects that were scheduled to begin this year but haven't because of this bond issue will simply cost millions of dollars more when all of this is sorted out. Live and on your side in downtown Buffalo, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.
Nate, thank you. And now to the latest on the death of inmate Robert Brooks. His son is calling on Governor Kathy Hochul to take action after the recent verdict in the case. Robert Brooks Jr. spoke at a rally in Albany today, one day after a former corrections officer was convicted of murder in his father's death, while 2 others were acquitted. He's asking the governor to sign off on changes that would tighten prison oversight and make sure families are not left waiting for answers.
I don't think my father would ever believe this would be going on today as we speak, that he would be not just the only person, but a big impact of what's going on and what's going to change. And to have that ultimate sacrifice of what he had to go through to change what's going on now, I think he would be happy with that.
Brooks says he has not yet spoken with Governor Hochul, but is willing to sit down with her and talk about prison reform. Tonight, a longtime effort to bring a playground back to Buffalo's Old First Ward is once again at a standstill. Resident Jackie Skinner says the Sidway playground was torn down in the 1990s, and her community has been fighting ever since to rebuild it. Now, back in 2019, she helped gather 800 signatures and raise nearly $400,000 in grants and donations to make it happen.
In 2019, I said, where's all our playgrounds? What's going on? And some of my other committee members and community members said, oh, we started a petition 20 years ago to try to get the city to rebuild the playground we used to have, Sidway Park. And I said, oh, okay, well, let's start another petition. So we did.
Skinner also says leadership changes and disputes over funding have delayed the project, but she tells us she's not giving up, hoping tonight's community meeting will finally move the playground plan forward. Also new tonight, Buffalo is shining a light on after-school programs this week. The Buffalo Police Athletic League is teaming up with city leaders and the Buffalo Bills to celebrate the Lights On After School initiative at Makowski Early Childhood Center. This program highlights the importance of after-school programs and literacy across the city, which is part of the acting mayor's Reading All-Stars campaign.
Everybody knows that, after school, those critical hours between probably 3 and 7 p.m. are the most critical hours. And so having a program like this is so important. It allows for kids to be engaged, but also as it relates to literacy, we're opening up imagination, we're opening up new doors and windows and teaching kids that you can be anything, you can go anywhere, you can experience anything.
Celebrations continue Thursday at 6 community centers across the city with games, activities, and literacy programs for families. Well, one of Western New York's major utility companies is expanding into Ohio. And tonight we're learning more about how National Fuel Gas plans to grow its customer base and service network. And that's where we begin tonight's nightly briefing.
I'm Ron Plants here in Williamsville at the National Fuel Gas headquarters, a major corporate acquisition for this utility company today, as they said they are spending $2.6 billion to take over the CenterPoint Energy Ohio operation in Dayton, Ohio. That means an additional 335,000 customers for natural gas in that area, with talk perhaps of future expansion.
I'm Kelly Dudzik in downtown Buffalo. The president of the Buffalo Police Benevolent Association has big concerns about potential staffing shortages. He says about 80 officers could retire before June if the Memorandum of Agreement, or MOA, that has to do with medical insurance isn't dealt with.
I'm Dave McKinley in the newsroom. There is still no sentencing date set yet for Joe Bongiovanni, the former DEA agent convicted of using his position to shield drug dealers from law enforcement investigation. A pre-sentence report from the Department of Probation recommended a sentence of between 20 and 24 years, but the judge has more or less rejected that. In his ruling, he suggests that adjustments be made so it looks like Bongiovanni might do 8 to 10, far more than what his lawyers were pushing for, which was just 2 years behind bars.
I'm Melissa Clausell in Buffalo. If you or someone you know benefit from SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, well, you might want to pay attention to the government shutdown, because come November 1st, the money that supplements that program could run out. Local food pantries and food banks are already preparing for an increase in gas.
I'm Alexandra Rios-Malvia, standing right inside the Buffalo Bison's clubhouse, where many of their players got their start right here before joining the big league. Now the Toronto Blue Jays are heading to the World Series, and some of those names are tagging along with them. As you can imagine, it's a big moment for Toronto, and it's also very special for some right here in Buffalo.
And from baseball to basketball now, the NBA season is underway right here, or over on Channel 2, I should say. But if you're looking for the day's top stories, your forecast, and a look ahead to what's happening tomorrow, we have got you covered right here tonight at 11 on WGRZ+. Just download on your TV, as you obviously have, and continue to watch for free. Well, coming up on Buffalo Nightly News, how two Buffalo sisters are turning their alma mater into their newest business home. Plus, how a local clothing closet is helping kids suit up for spooky season, one costume at a time. We're back now on Buffalo Nightly News on WGRZ+, and 2 new wine bars are coming to Buffalo's Elmwood Village. Our partners at Buffalo Business First report the first is called Concord, and it's going to open later this year as an expansion of Amabel Provisions on Elmwood Avenue. Now, this bar will bring a cozy European-style wine bar and restaurant to the neighborhood. And just down the street, Amelia's Barrel and Board is in development inside a renovated Victorian home, featuring charcuterie boards, small plates, and an outdoor patio. Both projects aim to add new flavor and charm to one of Buffalo's most popular districts. And as 2 new wine bars prepare to open, a North Buffalo favorite is getting ready to say goodbye. After 7 years in business, the Little Club on Hurdle Avenue has announced it will close after service on November 8th. In a heartfelt message, the Lombardo family thanked guests and staff for making the space a home for great wine, food, and community. They say gift cards will still be honored at Ristorante Lombardo. Well, tonight, 2 Canisius University alumni are coming full circle, you might say, returning to campus to brew up something special. Twin sisters Alyssa and Alicia Officer Foote have opened a new cafe inside the university's Science Hall, combining their love for coffee, community, and their alma mater. Here's 2 on Your Side's Lauren Hall with their story.
They started here as students. Now twin sisters Alisa Officer and Alicia Officer Foote are back on campus at Canisius University, this time helping fuel the next generation of Golden Griffins.
I remember running to Old Main early in the morning and just getting a bagel and a coffee and hoping my professor would not call me out on it. But it was 7 a.m. and I'm here on time, sir. So I love that, here we are delivering those bagels. We try to get it out fast and quick because I know a lot of people's in a lot of rush, but we love it here.
For Alisa and Alicia, this new cafe inside the Science Hall is more than a business. It's a homecoming.
This is actually our alma mater. This is where we both attended. We started together in 2006, graduated here for both our bachelor's and our master's degrees. So
another one.
And it's just like coming home, and it's like just a full circle experience. Like my husband went here also, so it's a in the family type of experience.
After college, both sisters followed their professional passions, Alisa in education, Alicia in accounting, while also growing their coffee roasting company, Unapologetic Coffee. Their latest chapter, opening a full cafe right here where it all began.
There's a full kitchen here, so we actually make a lot of our salads are made fresh here in this kitchen. All the bagels are local. We get them from Logan's Bagels, so it's really a community to get this out and pushed out.
Unapologetic Coffee at Canisius is open Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, welcoming both students and the public.
It's close to home for us too, so we live in the neighborhood, and then like she said, we go, we're Griffs forever. Go Griffs.
On Your Side, Lauren Hall, Channel 2 News.
What a great addition to campus, and good luck to those ladies with their new venture. I don't remember professors letting us eat bagels in class back in the day. Did your professors let you do that?
Maybe a coffee would be about it, but definitely no food. I don't know how that would fly, say, in chemistry lab or something like that.
Yeah, they just must be more laid back at Canisius, but my mouth is watering just seeing all the things they had to offer. It's great, and you know what? Hot coffee with the weather we're getting tomorrow, perfect combination.
You just nailed it, exactly. It's getting into that hot cocoa kind of season, hot coffee, anything you can do to keep warm. And yeah, we have some chilly rain that's going to be moving in as we head into tomorrow. We really haven't seen this kind of weather, but it is coming. As of right now, all quiet here this evening. We just have partly cloudy skies, but we are already tracking in line of some showers not too far away. And once we get to about midnight or so, now we're tracking some of these showers, including in around Buffalo and Niagara Falls. Again, we're going to have this round of some showers arrive roughly around midnight. And this is the leading edge of a reinforcing shot of chilly air. So in the wake of this, temperatures will be falling into and down to the 40s, eventually down into the low to mid 40s. And by tomorrow morning, here we are at 7 a.m., even before sunrise, we're already tracking this classic lake effect signature, this lake effect plume of moderate to even some heavier rain showers. So for the morning commute, especially from downtown into the south towns, you're going to want some extra time tomorrow morning. And again, this is lake effect, so it is going to be localized rain. Notice you get north of the city, not much rain. you get south of the city tomorrow. Not much rain if you're watching St. around Olean and Wellsville. Again, this is localized, moderate to heavy rain, including Buffalo, the South Towns, and that Lake Erie shoreline. And as we go through the day, again, here we are, even at lunchtime, you can see that band trying to lift north into the Buffalo metro. So occasionally, even across the North Towns, we'll get into some wet weather at times, but it won't be a washout, say, compared to Buffalo Point South. This is where the rain will be steadiest and heaviest. Here we are at 5 p.m. Some showers in and around Buffalo, so a little bit of a slow evening commute, but the heavier rain, again, into ski country and the southern tier. And that's where it will continue to get more and more focused as we head into your Thursday. So here we are Thursday morning, lake showers, again, primarily into the southern tier. Still some showers occasionally in Buffalo, but again, not an all-day rain event here on Thursday. And by the time we get into Friday, by then, there'll still be some showers around. You can see some of this activity here on the radar. It's going to be a lot more isolated. You can see the coverage not as impressive. We don't have the yellows or oranges showing up there. So the overall trend, showers diminishing after what will likely be a soggy day tomorrow, especially, again, for areas in and around Buffalo and down that Lake Erie shoreline. As far as rainfall amounts, again, this is just tomorrow. And this is the kind of rain we've been talking about that we need. Upwards of an inch, maybe even a little bit more than an inch of rain. Again, that's just tomorrow. We'll see more rain on top of this as we head to Thursday, especially into the southern tier. That's where you can see those numbers climbing. So again, your forecast for tonight, we're tracking that lake rain as it gets going, especially around and after midnight. Weather impact alert will go into effect with temperatures down into the 40s. And then we'll continue that weather impact alert tomorrow. You'll need extra travel time. Watch out for some ponding on the roadways. If you have any leaves or drains that are on your street that tend to kind of clog up this time of year, you're going to want to make sure they are cleared out. Temperatures, again, only in the upper 40s to around 50. And we'll do that again here on Thursday. But the lake effect, again, a little bit more confined towards the southern tier. So we'll continue that weather impact alert only for the southern tier. By Friday, just a chance for an isolated shower or two. A lot of dry time. And speaking of dry time, look at the weekend. We're looking pretty good. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the mid 50s, and that's about where we should be for this time of year. And that weather continues at least into the first half of next week. Mariels?
All righty, thank you, Dan. And still coming up on Buffalo Nightly News on WGRZ+, a Buffalo nonprofit is helping families in need and spreading a little Halloween magic along the way. How a simple idea is making a big difference across our community. Finally tonight on Buffalo Nightly News, a local nonprofit in Buffalo's Broadway Fillmore neighborhood is helping families find warmth and joy one outfit at a time. Felician Community Services runs the Wear and Share clothing closet, which just marked its 1-year anniversary. Now, in that time, the program has given out more than 19,000 items of clothing, all free to anyone in need. And this fall, they've added a special touch, racks of donated Halloween costumes for kids who might otherwise go without.
We love Halloween here, and so we know by talking to our guests how hard things are right now, and so we actually wanted to make things a little bit easier, and that's what we do here, is try to identify needs, right? And so Halloween costumes are a huge need. Every kid wants to be able to dress up, and could you imagine if you didn't know how you're going to pay your bill to try to justify spending money on a Halloween costume? That's just not realistic. So what we're doing here is collecting community donations and putting racks of Halloween costumes out for our guests.
What a great idea, because you never wear it out, right?